Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another episode. Today I have Justine. She's one of our newest BALB instructors and a big part of our BALB community. Funny thing is that I met Justine last year before the world shut down. She was going to come and do a bar program in the new renovated studio, and then we didn't go from March break, and just we were navigating a new world, kids online, and then we reconnected at the end of last year. And Justine has been a big part of our subscription series. She has produced a Barre Balletone program that I'm super excited to be releasing in the next coming weeks. And also, I want to say is that I have never met someone I just clicked with instantly. I mean, I have, but I haven't, okay? Because she came in for an interview, right? And I am sitting there and, she's pleasant, she's nice, she's pretty, just everything is matching. I'm like, great, I can't wait to have her do classes. And then I don't speak to Justine for like another year. Okay. And then when she came in, it was just like where we left off. It's like when you talk to a friend and then they go away to school and then they come back after a year and you just pick up where you left off. It's like, oh my goodness, like that missing puzzle piece that you're like, yes, oh my goodness, I have a new friend. I love it. So I'm not sure if she feels the same, but I feel this about you, Justine. So welcome to the episode.
Oh, thank you so much. That's so kind of you to say.
You're welcome. Okay, so this is it. I want you to know more about Justine because um, her programming style is just it's brilliant when it comes to bar and balletone. Like she makes it look super simple, but I know what goes behind the scenes and when she's doing it. And I'm just always like envious of her lines. Like I always want to be a dancer. So I'm watching her do this program so effortlessly, and she has a really great communication style. So let's get to know Justine a bit more. So welcome again.
Thank you.
Share a bit about yourself, Justine, for our viewers.
Sure. I teach fitness. Obviously, I've been doing that for a number of years, probably since it was around about the time I started working at Brock. So I've been working at Brock as a librarian for like 17 years. And it was around that time I started teaching fitness as a part-time job too. So I love my job at Brock. I get to work with students and faculty, and I love that. Like I love teaching them research skills. I think it's those kind of skills that we need more than ever now in
Mm-hmm.
terms of navigating, scientific information here in COVID, like what is so much science knowledge you have to kind of digest what's coming out in the news. So
Right.
I love that part of my life, but I also love the fitness part. I love bar, which I'll talk about a little bit later on. And I have three kids. So my oldest, Celia, is 9 years old. My middle child, Colin, is 4, and my littlest, Annabelle, is 2. So it's busy at home. They keep me on my toes. And it's funny, I worked out more and more with every pregnancy, and they progressively got busier as children. So my littlest is like crazy busy climbing, jumping. She's actually at the hospital today for the fracture clinic. Like she's fine, but jumping and coming down the stairs, had a little accident, which we're looking at. But anyways, that's a little bit about me.
Wow, I know. You know what? That's a good point. I worked out the most like my third pregnancy, and my daughter Milana is crazy. I mean, they say the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree, but if she was in the studio, she'd take over with the mic. Like it's just like I cannot. I can't wait till she can run her own programming, but until then, I have you. Okay, so like, how crazy is it that we met last year before the world shut down? Like,
I know.
isn't that crazy? Okay, like, do you feel like how we feel like friends? Like, we're so similar, but yet so different. Isn't that crazy?
Yes, absolutely. I remember when I first met you, and then I came shortly after to do one of your classes. And I remember thinking, this is such a great community. Like, I want to be a part of it. And same for me. The more we talk, I'm like, she's so similar to me.
Yeah,
Like, we have the same type of personality. We're very different,
yeah,
but very similar in a lot of ways. It's kind of crazy.
I
You feel
know.
kind of like a sister.
Absolutely, right? And I'm so grateful that I got to meet you and that now everyone else is going to meet you. So that is a crazy silver lining, one of them to COVID. So tell us how you got into bar.
Sure. So Barre, like I did dance for a long, long time. Like ballet was what I loved. My daughter does dance now, but ballet is not her favorite, which is breaking my heart. So I'm gonna have to try with the other two. But I knew that there was going to be eventually deep down some way to kind of incorporate dance into teaching fitness. And a couple of years ago, Good Life, so I've taught for Good Life for a number of years, they decided to launch a barre program, which was Soul Body Barre. And I was pregnant at the time with Annabelle, and I knew I wanted so badly to learn to do it. I had done some barre classes online, and I just knew what an amazing workout it was. And so I kind of jumped at the chance. So I did the training when I was pregnant. It was super challenging because it's doable. Barre is definitely accessible to everybody, but it was exhausting because I think I was about 6 months pregnant when I certified, did my video. So I just knew, like, I love it. I love it so much. I love that it incorporates a lot of ballet, but you don't have to have been a dancer to do it. It's just an amazing program, really great program.
And I can't wait for the viewers to see because Justine just finished wrapping up programming, and the workouts are amazing. Like low impact, but definitely feeling it in the muscles. It's amazing.
Yes.
What were you initially thinking about when I asked you to record barre for me? I'm always just curious. Like, were you like, I don't know if this is gonna work?
I wondered because, like, I knew deep down, like, I knew people were going to hopefully love it because it is so different. And it really is a really nice complement to other kinds of workouts. So I know a lot of my ladies who do barre, they do all kinds of other exercise, whether it's like cycling or running, and it's just a really nice complement to those. So I think it's a really nice addition to any kind of programming. And I hope that people are going to like it. I think they will. And I'm so excited because I think you've got such a great community going. And I think I'm excited to be a part of that too, like on both sides, right?
That's amazing. I can't wait for our community to do this. And just so viewers know, like, in our programming, our streaming, our live streaming, and our on demand is that we continue to try to offer variety. And I always search out for someone that has an expertise or professionalism in their expertise, right? So for me, I don't have expertise in barre, so I may know a few moves, but I love that we're building our library base, and members get to choose what they can and when they cannot do, or they don't want to do. And the thing is that barre, like you said, is such a great complement to any movement that you are doing, simply because of using the smaller muscle groups and really trying to strengthen the connective tissue. So I really am excited for it to launch. What can our viewers and anyone that wants to join expect from your barre and Balletone program?
So for barre, you'll definitely be working muscles you probably aren't that comfortable working because it does get into those smaller muscle groups, as you mentioned, Michelle. So generally in barre, we are using lighter weights than you might be used to using. So don't be afraid to lighten it up because we do a lot of repetitions at times. We do pulsing. So you will be feeling things in a different way than any other class. We also work a lot on posture. So it's a really great way to kind of see where you're at with your posture, strengthen your posture as I start to sit up a little straighter myself. And it also really helps with balance too. So I think you're going to find from doing the barre classes, you'll have improved posture, balance, start to develop those muscles you maybe aren't so comfortable working, and definitely core strength. So that's kind of the barre part. Balletone, you may not have heard about before. So it's more popular in the States. I would say I have only seen a handful of Canadians that are certified in Balletone. So Balletone is considered sort of the cardio part of barre. So it's almost like you're in a dance class. You do your barre exercises, and then you go to center floor to do some of the more allegro or cardio aspects. So it's can be completely no impact, no jumping, but you will still raise your heart rate. So I think I was saying to you, Michelle, like if I look at my tracker after a Balletone class, like I've definitely reached the comparable heart rate levels of, say, a step class. So it really can, if you do the movements, dynamic arm movements. We're working the bigger muscle groups in the legs. So you will definitely feel your heart rate go up and you'll get a good sweat going. But again, I have people in my classes that are teenagers and then all the way up to like my mom, who's 77. She does Balletone too. And she's still able to do the same movements, modify, but still get a great
Amazing.
cardio workout.
So it brings me to my next question. Would you say that, for the different stages of womanhood, pre and postnatal, older adult, injury, is this program safe?
Yes, absolutely. So as I mentioned, I did the bar training when I was pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
So with some modifications, because obviously sometimes your balance is a little bit off.
Mm-hmm.
So having your chair, which we do incorporate a lot in bar, close by, that's helps to be a little more accessible if you are expecting a baby. A lot of the core moves have modifications. And then Balletone, we do a little bit of cardio and bar, but Balletone, again, you don't have to jump. So if you have any joint issues, you can definitely keep it grounded. So I would say it's accessible to all ages, pre, postnatal, working obviously under your doctor's
Yeah,
recommendations and everything. But yeah, it's kind of an ideal, accessible workout
that's good.
for everyone.
That's awesome to know.
Yeah.
Um, so, what do you love most about teaching?
So I love the connections with people for sure. So whether it was when I was teaching in person at Good Life, I loved getting to know the members. I loved kind of learning more about their lives, their challenges, what motivates them to go to the gym. Like to
Mm-hmm.
me, that's really important. Um, I love just the music. I love the movement. I think it's going back to background in dance. I feel good when I'm moving. I feel like healthy in my body. It helps my mental health too. So it's kind of a combination of all those things.
And how has that changed with moving to online? Do you feel like you're able to continue building those relationships?
Absolutely. So it's been great to kind of keep those connections up and make new connections for people that I wasn't teaching before. So that's been good. I think it's been challenging to kind of still keep that feel of the in
Mm-hmm.
person where, you have that banter and you have, I miss the connections like where I like put my arm around a member or something like that. I definitely
Yeah.
miss that. But it's been really, really nice to kind of keep in touch through the online teaching.
That's good. That's good. Okay, so for viewers that do not know what to expect in our live classes, what can you tell them? I always try to give or get other feedback from members, from colleagues. What could you tell members what to expect in our live classes since you've done them?
Okay. So I've told you this, Michelle, too, but I'm so impressed by the setup that you have going for your members because like I was saying, it's so hard to recreate that group fitness live experience like in person,
Mm-hmm.
but you've done such a good job
Thanks.
doing that. Like I love that it's so interactive. You can see like people are adding their comments, people are saying good morning to one another. Like it has that cozy feel of that community,
Yeah.
but in an online setting. And plus you're in the comfort of your own home. You don't have to turn on your camera if you don't like you
Exactly.
can be yourself, right?
Exactly. Well,
Yeah.
thank
So,
you.
and it's fun. The music's great and you're motivating. Like, it's awesome.
Okay, I just gonna let people know I only bring people on that are as motivating as me. Okay, so Justine fits the criteria. Listen, being an instructor is like having a best friend on the camera now. Okay, it used to be having a best friend in the front row. They're there to motivate you. When we think about how we started, I think Justine will agree, is that we were trying to better ourselves at the same time as motivate everyone to live their best life. And when you went to class, it was like you always were looking forward to talking to your friend, to listening to music, to letting that movement go. And right now it is so important to keep that going. Right now, we are longing for connection, for accountability, for motivation. If you could join any class or, reach out to an instructor that maybe, has your back or you have, communication with, right now is your time to do something about your life and change. Because this is the thing, and Justine, we've talked about it more and more as she came in for recordings, is that the fitness world will change. We might not be able to go back to hugging, to high fiving, to being in the same room with each other. So you have to make a decision right now in your life. Do we want to wait and be complacent, or do we want to move move with the times. And right now, your only choice to better yourself and to keep yourself healthy with yourself, for your family, is to move. And like I said, Justine has that motivation ability. She can motivate through the screen. And let me tell you, just watching her, I was correcting my posture every time you look at her. She has the most perfect posture, and I suffer from back problems, so I'm always looking at her like, when she sits, I'm like, oh my goodness. So if you're looking for a program that's really going to help you correct posture, imbalances, alignment, feel good from the inside out, like, this is the program. Justine is your motivator and your instructor for the program. Okay, so what's next for you with fitness certifications or programming? I know we spoke a bit about it, but tell our viewers.
Yeah. So my most recent certification, ever since COVID hit, this has been my silver lining, is I've been able to do a lot of online trainings that never made it to Canada. So a lot of American trainings have been online. So I did my yoga training in the fall, which was challenging because it's very intensive, but I did that. So the one I'm working on right now is Pop Pilates, which is, you may have heard of Cassie Ho. I believe she's out of California. So she has a really popular YouTube channel, Blogilates. She does a lot of fun. She kind of brings Pilates movements to pop music and makes it really fun and upbeat. You don't have to have classical training in Pilates. So that's what I'm working on right now, which is super fun. I did a little preview last night, and I'm excited to kind of get the full certification. And it's the same idea, like the pre-choreographed set to musical mapping that I really love to teach.
That's awesome. I'm excited for you. And then I'm excited for me too. Okay, so tell me, what other hobbies do you have?
I was thinking about that. I love to work out. It's like a hobby of mine too, obviously. I love to read. As a librarian, I love to read and write. I always like to say knitting's a hobby, but it takes me forever to complete projects. So I've got baby blankets I'm still working on. Celia got hers when she was about 4 years old, so I'm still working on Colin and Annabelle. But that's a very relaxing hobby. And I just like to walk and hike with the kids, that type of thing.
What have you been doing to cope with our third lockdown?
Oh my gosh, it's hard. It's so hard having a kindergartner trying to do online school.
Yeah.
And trying to work at the same time. It's exhausting. So I feel for everyone. I feel like everybody has something, whether they're living on their own and they're dealing with loneliness, or they've got a family with young kids and they're dealing with all the online schooling. I just feel like we just have to be so compassionate with each other, like just be kind. So I'm trying to cope by like working out. Obviously, that helps me. Trying to eat healthy. I do a lot of meal prep too for the kids. I do like box lunches every day, which they hate, but I still do them for my own sanity.
That's a great idea. The box lunches. Just keep it
Yeah,
going. Kids need routine, right?
for sure.
Oh
For
my goodness.
sure.
I started doing box lunches for myself as well because as much as kids need routine, adults like thrive on routine and consistency. And that's one of the things that we really stress in our community. And you hit it on the nail. Okay, last question. It's random, but I just got to know. What is the first thing you're going to do post lockdown, COVID?
Oh my. Well, first of all, I really hope that's soon, like really soon. Um, I think my husband and I have been talking about how much we miss going to Ellicottville. Like in the winter, we would go skiing. In the summer, we would go just to stay for a few days. And I love it. So that's like the first thing I want to do is go across the border, go to Target, grab all the stuff I haven't been able to get for a year and a half, and like just go hang out and relax with the family. That's the first thing for sure.
That's awesome. I think I found a shopping buddy now. I didn't know that. That's another thing we can add to our similarities is that
Yay!
I like to just roam around stores and buy anything that I do not need and don't try it on. That is what I do. Okay. So, thank you so much, Justine. It's been a pleasure. I'm super grateful I got to know you, and you are a big part of our community right now. And I'm so excited for others to get to know you more. Everyone, stay tuned for the Barre Balletone program. It will be dropping this week. On our website. Anything you want to know about Barre Balletone, Justine is your girl. So reach out to me and I can put you in contact with Justine. Thank you so much for chatting with me today. It's been
Oh,
so
you're
nice.
welcome.
And we'll chat soon.
Sounds good.
All
Bye,
right, buddy.
Michelle.
Bye.
Thank you.